Let me ask you something. Do you think the choices you make every day are, well, really your own? When you choose one brand over another, are you really in the driver's seat? You might think so, but the reality is way more surprising. Let's dive into the hidden world of persuasion.
So take a look at this number, 95%. This comes from Harvard professor Gerald Zaltman, and honestly, it's the key to understanding just about everything in modern marketing. 95%. But of what?
Yeah, that's what that 95% is all about. It's the huge hidden part of your brain's processing that happens totally beneath the surface. Kind of like an iceberg, right? We think we're making these smart, rational choices, but most of the time, we're actually being guided by a hidden pilot. And you better believe, marketers have figured out how to talk directly to that pilot. And that brings us to this fascinating field called neuromarketing. It's this incredible blend of brain science and sales. And it's being used every single day to influence what you buy, how much you'll pay for it, and even how loyal you are to a brand. So come on, let's pull back the curtain on a few of these powerful techniques.
First up, let's talk about money, or more specifically, how the way a price is shown to you can completely change how you feel about it. It's all a game, and your brain is the playing field.
Okay, so get this. It turns out spending money literally hurts. Neuromarketing studies using brain scans have shown that the moment you buy something, the pain center in your brain actually lights up. It's a real physical ouch. So smart pricing strategy isn't just about picking a number, it's about making that ouch feel as small as possible. And here are just a few clever ways they do it. Think about combo meals. By bundling items, it's harder for your brain to feel the sting of each individual price. Using a credit card, that creates a delay between the purchase and the pain of actually paying. And have you ever noticed fancy restaurants take the dollar signs off their menus? It's a tiny, tiny change, but it really does reduce that pain and makes you more likely to spend more. Okay, let's talk about a classic trick called anchoring. Imagine you're shopping for a new phone, and the very first one you see is priced at a whopping $1,200. That number is now stuck in your head. It's become your mental anchor. And then, bam! Right next to it, you see this. All of a sudden, $800 doesn't seem that bad, does it? In fact, compared to that first price, it feels like an amazing deal. That first price was never really there to be sold. It was there to make the second price look absolutely irresistible. Let's stick with this idea with another trick you've definitely fallen for. So, you're at the movies. You can get a small popcorn for $3 or a large for $7. What do? It's kind of a tough call, right? $7 feels like a bit much for popcorn.
So, what if we throw in a third option? An option that's secretly designed for you to ignore, but has a huge influence on your final choice.
Now look closely at that medium popcorn. For $6.50? I mean, come on, who buys that? It's a terrible deal. It's only 50 cents less than the large. But here's the secret. It's not supposed to be sold. It's a decoy. Its only job is to make that $7 large popcorn suddenly look like an incredible bargain. And guess what? Sales of the large size go through the roof.
You know, it's not just about the numbers, though. The most effective marketing speaks to all of our senses, a lot of times in ways we don't even consciously realize, to build these really powerful connections with a brand. Just think about it for a sec. United Airlines has used Rhapsody in Blue for so long, you hear it and you instantly think of them. Or that unique smell when you walk into a Barnes & Noble, that mix of new books and coffee, that creates a consistent, powerful memory. And get this, research shows that just touching or holding a product dramatically increases your sense of ownership, which makes you way more likely to actually buy it. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that our brains don't just see the world, we experience it with all our senses. By creating this multi-sensory brand experience, companies build these deeper, longer-lasting connections in our brains, making their brands feel more familiar, more trustworthy.
All right, let's dive into some of the really sneaky stuff. These are the psychological nudges used in advertising every day that you almost never, ever notice.
I mean, have you ever really thought about fonts? Well, research shows that if you want someone to do something simple, like sign up now, using a clean, easy-to-read font makes the task itself feel easier and faster. But if you're selling something luxurious, a more complicated, elegant font can actually signal that more skill and effort went into the product, which helps justify a higher price. And how about this one? The power of where someone is looking. If an ad has a cute baby looking right at you, you're just going to look back at the baby. But if that same baby is looking over at the product or the headline, your brain can't help it. You instinctively follow their gaze, which directs your attention exactly where the advertiser wants it to go. It is such a powerful subconscious cue.
Okay, pop quiz. What do you think is the single most powerful word in all of marketing? Out of all the words in the English language, which one has this magnetic pull on our brains that can make us just throw logic right out the window?
You guessed it, free. The word free triggers such a massive positive emotional rush that it just steamrolls our rational thought. Why? Well, our brains are hardwired to avoid loss at all costs. Getting something for free feels like there's zero risk, no potential downside, which makes it an offer that's almost impossible for our brains to refuse. So, when you put it all together, the pricing games, the sensory tricks, all these little nudges, what's the end game? It's all about building towards one ultimate goal, creating a deep, emotional, and basically unbreakable bond with the brand.
And that really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? When it comes to actually persuading you, what works better? A logical, fact-based argument or an emotional story?
This is really the fundamental battle in all of advertising. On one side, you have rational arguments, lists of facts and features. They're speaking to that tiny, conscious 5% of your brain. But on the other side, you have emotional connections, stories that make you feel something, that tap into your identity. Those are speaking directly to that powerful, subconscious 95% that's really calling the shots. And when you look at the data, it's not even a contest. Study after study has shown that ad campaigns built purely on emotion consistently outperform ones built on logic. Sure, the rational arguments help us justify our decisions later, but it's our emotions that are truly driving those decisions in the first place.
So here's a challenge for you. The next time you're in a store or just scrolling online, I want you to pay closer attention. Now that you know some of the secrets, see if you can spot them in the wild. Can you feel that price anchor being set? Can you spot the decoy? Can you notice your own eyes following someone's gaze in an ad? The game is being played all around you. The only question is, now that you know the rules, are you going to play it differently?